Voodoo number 12, written by Joshua Williamson, art by Sammy Basri. Last issue left off with the final confrontation between Priscilla and Voodoo on the moon of whatever. And this issue is just the capper. It's just the, okay, here we go, final issue. Because while there is technically a zero issue, they're using it as an origin story. So this is the end of the plot. This is it. So we get a flashback to how each of them have evolved, how Voodoo started as a stripper, Priscilla was locked up by the Black Razors. Now Priscilla's working with the Black Razors, and Voodoo's working with Hellspawn, because Hellspawn literally has to be in every book. So their fight continues on, and Priscilla is kind of trying to talk Voodoo down. Not in a way of, like, don't do this, but in a, please, we can help you. Like, you don't have to do this sort of way. And Voodoo's just getting more and more angry and turns more into her monstrous form, going after Priscilla. And it looks like she's pretty heavily, violently beating her up, but there is some hope. So then we cut over to the Black Razors, and Lincoln and Skvarla are trying to fix the ship while they're under heavy fire from the mutated demonites, whatever they were. And finally they get the ship up and running. So Lincoln calls over for Walker, saying, all right, get Priscilla, get whatever she needs. Like, did you take out Voodoo? Are we done here? And Walker's like, yeah. Here's the thing. We're kind of in the middle of a fight. And Lincoln's like, okay, look, we have to go, like, now. So tell her to, like, end it, get it over with, and let's get going. By the way, the other teammates are dead. And he's like, oh, no, so sad. Man. So the fight continues on with Voodoo and Priscilla. They keep going. And then as they're battling, they mind link. They join together, and Voodoo explains that this is, like, part of the Daemonite hive mind, where they're just in each other's brains, and there's no fighting. There's no point in fighting. It's just mental energy. But they can actually talk. And basically, Priscilla's just walking her through saying, like, look, yes, I understand that there's this prophecy that you think that you need to fulfill, that this is your role, but you don't have to do anything. You are in charge of your own destiny. Like, you don't need to listen to Hellspawn. You don't need to do whatever. Like, you can just go. And she explains, like, the Daemonites' history, and that there's a prophecy that the Daemonites have to evolve in order to survive. But there are some people who think that, like, the hybrids, the thing that Voodoo are, is the evolution that's needed, whereas other people, like, they think Daemonites are perfect, and they don't think evolution's necessary. So they're just going to take over Earth, because that's where they think it's going to take place. Hellspawn, the current leader, thinks it's both. That hybrids are the way of the future, and also they need to take over Earth. So that's why he's so popular, I guess. But basically Priscilla says, like, look, here's the thing. There's still time to change. Let me show you. And then they walk out of the hive mind, and they separate in real life. And Voodoo is still, like, Priscilla's like, oh, Voodoo, do you remember what we talked about? Voodoo's like, get away from me. You're just trying to trick me. I see what all this is. I'm taking that blue flame and I'm using it for my own stuff. So she picks up this sword and she's ready to use it to wipe out all the heroes on Earth. And then the big hulking Daemonite from, like, last issue or 2 issues ago comes in and swats her in the back and says, like, you kill everybody here. You suck. And then he dies. So at that point, Priscilla picks up the blue flame and just like, well, we shouldn't let her have it. I don't know what we're going to do with it, but let's go. So they grab the blue flame and they make their way out of there. They arrive at the ship along with the giant centurion statues chasing after them, doing the whole Indiana Jones things of, like, start the plane. So they get the spaceship up in the air and everyone's good to go. And it's like, okay, let's take stock of what happened here. Voodoo escaped again, but we have the blue flame, and Lincoln's immediately like, can you still feel Voodoo? Is she still in your head? And Priscilla's like, no. Ever since our mind link, I can't feel her at all. She's gone. Like, I'm not saying dead, but I can't sense her anymore. So, yeah, no, we're good. So then we see Priscilla makes her way back to her family home where she was taken from, and Lincoln's like, yeah, look, you can go back to a normal life. You're able to do that now. We won't keep you here in the Black Razors. You're free to do this. And Priscilla's like, nah, screw that. I have nowhere near a normal life anymore. I'm going to keep on with you guys. Let's go back to training. So She does say that she senses that there's someone else out there who needs her help. You know, a grifter from the book Grift. Yeah, that's what we're doing now. Voodoo will be in Grifter, or Priscilla will be, to be more exact. But anyway, fight scene continues on of her training with the Black Razors, and they're getting to be more of a team. Lincoln smiles and is just like, oh, what a good team. And he takes the blue flame and goes up to the roof and talks to some mysterious figure who says, hopefully you can keep this safe from falling into the wrong hands. And the voice just says, don't worry, we'll be sure to put it to good use. We never see who that is. But they have the blue flame, and at least Lincoln trusts them. So then we go back to the moon, and Voodoo wasn't the only sleeper agent. There are hundreds of Daemonites and hybrids left on Earth, and they all believe in the prophecies. So Voodoo is at least the most dangerous one, because she truly believes in the prophecy, and that is the right thing to do. And as we zoom in on the moon, we see her name being chanted over and over again by the remaining Daemonites, and they're all kneeling before her as she stands above them. And she's like, I shouldn't have been following Hellspot. She's right, I should have been doing my own thing. So now everyone will kneel before Voodoo. Thunderstrike, Krakoom, end of issue. So that's Voodoo. I know we still have the Zero issue, but I mean, this is the capper if you really want to. I'll talk about the Zero issue, obviously, but I gotta say, I slept on this. I slept on this comic as a whole. I didn't think. I mean, just from page one of just a stripper woman, just like unabashedly just trying to rope in all the horny 13-year-old boys getting comics. I understand why I slept on it. I'm not saying I made the wrong choice there, but it was honestly a bit more of a story than I was expecting. It had a lot more to it. I do think it was kind of a bit blasé in the first couple issues, I believe, when Ron Mars was writing. But once Joshua Williamson picked up, I really think that it got its own mythology and it set up its own stuff. I really seriously cannot stand the fact that Hellspawn was brought in, but this one was at least originally a Daemonite book, so I have to be okay with that at least. Overall, this particular issue, I'd say 8. I think that it doesn't really feel like it wrapped up the plots, but it didn't feel like it did anything amazing with them. Clearly, everything that happened was how it was going to happen. The only big reveal, I think, was that Voodoo is going to be leading the Daemonites still. If I had to put money down, I would have said that she went off into a third way, where she's not human or Daemonite. But hey, apparently she's still Daemonite, so there's that. But no, I give it an 8. I think it's a solidly written issue and book overall. I can understand why people wouldn't be attracted to it from the outside, but it definitely is well written enough to check out. So we'll cover the Zero issue, and I'll probably say all of this over again at that point. But yeah, I have definitely enjoyed Voodoo.